Hey guys, and welcome back to the JTO channel. And this is your match preview of tomorrow's game. Chelsea playing at home at Stamford Bridge, 3 p.m. to Southampton. And to be honest, in recent games against Southampton, obviously, we actually haven't played well against them, and we've actually not won against them. Obviously, last season, we drew 1-1 at their ground, and obviously at Stamford Bridge last season as well on the Frank. We drew 3-3, which was, I watched that game, madness. Like, I don't know how, to be honest with you, but hey, that's when we had a out of form Kepa, a dodgy Christensen, and yeah. But ever since, these guys have improved, and Chelsea should be confident for this game, although in the last two games, we've not played well at all. We've played two teams that have two completely different playing styles, and the fact that we couldn't break either team down, it's kind of concerning. And the way Southampton are going to play tomorrow, I expect them to actually play a brand of a bit of mixture of both, in the sense of like the pressing of Man City, maybe not to its intensity, but I do also expect them at the same time to at times sit back as well as Juventus did in their 4-4-2 formation. Now, obviously, Southampton this season so far hasn't been a good start for them. They've not won a single game this year. They're one of five teams. Surprisingly, I looked at it the other day. I was surprised. Five teams in this league haven't won a game yet. I think it's Newcastle, Southampton, Leeds, Norwich, and somebody else. I forgot their names, but it's mad. Five teams still haven't won a game yet. Southampton, obviously, they have 4 draws, 2 losses. Two of the draws did come against big teams like Man United and Man City, who are title contenders for the league this year. And look, it's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. They are going to come to Stamford Bridge. They are going to play their game. Ralph Hasenhuttl is a very good manager. It's just he's dealing with a poor squad, in my opinion. Just because there's a chance that Southampton could get relegated, I don't think it'll be down to him. I think it'll be down to the fact that it's a poor squad, and I think some of the players that have left as well are huge. Vestergaard has gone to Leicester City. Danny Ings, they lost Danny Ings over the summer. He guarantees you like 20 goals a season, to be honest, when he's fit. So it's really big losses for them, and I kind of feel sorry for Ralph Hasenhuttl, who's the former RB Leipzig manager. He is a good coach, to be fair. He would actually do well at a lot of these clubs that are a lot better than Southampton, in my personal opinion. And look, the way tactically they played against us last year under Tuchel, I thought tactically they nullified us. I thought like defensively they were very good. They limited us to they limited us. They limited us from being able to attack. We even scored a penalty and we didn't really create any clear-cut chances from open play against them. So tomorrow's going to be a really difficult game, and look, I do expect Chelsea to win, just because look, we've lost 2 in a row. We can't afford to lose 3 in a row before the international break. That would just be so bad. And to be honest, this is the first time I'm like actually like, you know what? Yes, bring me the international break, because recently it's just been bad for us. The loss to Man City, the loss to Juve. And honestly, I can't cope with another loss or even a draw against Southampton tomorrow. There's an opportunity now to put on a good run, get the win before the international break, come back, and then we go again against Brentford, hopefully. So, yeah. Thomas Tuchel did his press conference, and the only thing I'm really going to mention is just due to the injury concerns, and Mason Mount is actually back. He obviously said that the injury wasn't really that long, to be honest with you. And Reece James is still out. He was confused about why Gareth Southgate picked him in his England squad, and how he joked about saying, he thought Reece was picked for like the England like water pool, something like that. Where I don't know, just competes in the pool or something like that. That's just Thomas Tuchel just taking the mick in a way, thinking, is Reece James in the football team or in the water pool team? Like, what's going on here then? But yeah, clearly there's a misunderstanding between England's medical team and Chelsea's medical team. Quite clearly, England's medical team seem to think that Reece will be in contention for this week's game, which he is not. He is still currently injured, and Chelsea obviously know that he's not fit enough, and I don't know why England. I don't know where England got that information from. Tuchel did say it'd take at least a week, so we'll see. I'd rather Reece James not go, to be honest with you. I'd rather he just stayed and recovered. Mason Mount will go because he is fit for the game. So yeah, I still don't know about Pulisic. I assume he's still injured. I didn't really see a mention of him. When they mentioned him, it was when he was asked about the fact that we missed Mason Mount, but we also missed Reece James, we missed Kante, we missed Pulisic. That was the only time I really saw him mentioned. So I don't know if he's fit. I'm going to assume that he's not fit for the game. Kante is obviously still out with COVID and he's recovering and was not picked for the French national team. Thank God. That delusional man, DJ Deschamps, actually has a brain for once. But yeah, that's really it on Southampton, the press conference, and Thomas Tuchel and all that stuff and recent form. And yeah, we move on now to the predicted lineup, people. In goal, we're gonna start off with Edouard Mendy. Really simple, not really up for a debate. We move on to the back three now. And by the way, in this lineup, there's a few changes I think I've made. It's a mix. I've put it as a realistic lineup and not as a lineup I would want because I like to predict what Thomas Tuchel is going to put out there. But I have made some changes that I genuinely do think he is going to implement in there. So a back three of Antonio Rudiger, left-sided centre back, Christensen as the middle centre back, and Azpilicueta as the right-sided centre back. Yes, I do think Azpilicueta will play as the right-sided centre back. I think Tuchels will get a rest at the end of the day. He has had a 90-minute game against Juve. He had about a 70-minute game against Manchester City. I think he will deserve a rest here. Just before he goes off to the international break, most likely with Brazil. I know people have shouted out for Trevor Chalobah. It wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if he played. Every time the guy's played, he's actually played really well, to be honest. Probably except for the Villa game to an extent, but other than that, he's been playing really well. So it wouldn't surprise me if he got his chance tomorrow. He did come on against Juve, and you know what? He looked decent. He done what he had to do for his own personal self. Do you understand? So yeah. Right wing back now. I'm putting Callum Hudson-Odoi there. As much as I don't want to see him play there, I just think he will tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow against Southampton, we need to attack them tomorrow down the wings. We need somebody that is gonna take a player on and stuff like that. And look, if Callum Hudson-Odoi, whether he performs or not tomorrow, I am planning on making a video on Callum, probably on Monday, about how I think Tuchel just doesn't rate him at all. And how I just think all this camera stuff and blah 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 is just really not a true thing. So look, I'll get into that on Monday in more detail into that. But I do think, in my opinion, he will play Cho as a right wing back. If not, it'll most likely be Azpilicueta there, and he'll probably will put Trevor Chalobah as the right-sided centre back. I can also see that. But in my opinion, I think he'll put him as a right wing back. The left wing back, I think Chilwell deserves his chance now. He came on against who did he come on against? Juventus midweek, and I saw a stat where, like, I think in terms of, like, because obviously in terms of keeping the ball, he was actually the best at it. There was a stat I saw where he completed like the most passes or something like that. And when even Hudson-Odoi came on, he completed the most dribbles out of anyone on the field in that game. He was only on for like what 25 minutes or something like that. Ridiculous. You know, the guy came on and completed the most dribbles out of everyone on the field. So I think those two really do deserve a chance tomorrow. As much as, like I said with Callum, I'd like to see him at left wing. I just think realistically, I think he'll play right wing back. That's just my opinion. Left wing back, Ben Chilwell, he deserves his chance. He came on against Juventus. He was decent at the end of the day. I don't think his performance was bad at all. It was a lot better than Alonso's, in my opinion. Even though I still don't think he didn't put in enough crosses into the box. Although, to be fair, Juventus just defensively were good and they nullified our wing backs. So yeah, Ben Chilwell deserves his chance right before the international break, in my opinion. And let's see if he performs tomorrow. Hopefully he does, and hopefully he gets back into this team on a regular basis after the international break. So yeah, the double pivot now. I'd play Jorginho as definitely one of them. The other one's up for debate now. Now, obviously, Kovacic wasn't great in the last game. You've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who, came on and actually did all right, in my opinion. And recently, he's been doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Saul is still in the books. Who have I gone with? I've still gone with Mateo Kovacic. I still think Tuchel will play Kovacic tomorrow and Jorginho. Look, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Ruben actually got a chance. And I think if he did start tomorrow, Ruben, he'd definitely deserve it. But I think for now, I think he's going to play Kovacic and still not drop him completely because he was bad in like one game. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't been all his season hasn't been awful as an overall so far. So I still think he deserves to play Kovacic. And yeah, as much as he was poor last game, you may as well just give him this game and see how he does. It's right before the international break. There's no point in making drastic changes, if you know what I mean. So yeah, the front three now. Mason Mount straight back into this team, no questions asked. The guy is needed. The guy's first touch is just, you know, and his creativity and his half turns and his link up play even sometimes as well. His set pieces, you know, and deliveries from like corners, free kicks are just like the fundamentals, just the simple basics of football. Mason does that so good, and sometimes Kai just doesn't do that properly, or Ziyech, or even Werner, or these guys, you know, Pulisic, you know, just the attackers, the number 10s that play behind Lukaku, do you understand? So yeah. But I'll play Mason Mount tomorrow just because he'll bring the simple stuff, the fundamentals. On top of that, his creativity, his work ethic, his ability to drop into the midfield and make a 3-5-2 if needed potentially. So yeah, Mason Mount. Move on now to Timo Werner, who I'd play on the other side, just because I don't know if Pulisic is fit, and plus I wouldn't play Ziyech or Havertz there. And on top of that, I've already put Hudson Odoi right wing back, and even if he played Azpilicueta there tomorrow, Thomas Tuchel, I still don't think he'd play Hudson Odoi as a winger, as like one of the 10s, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be Timo Werner. He didn't come on at all against Juventus, which to an extent I understood. I understood, but it was a bit of a disrespect when you see the likes of Barkley come on before him. You're thinking to yourself like, boy, that's a bit peak for Timo. I can't even lie. When you're seeing Barkley come on instead of you, just shows, innit? And recently there's been some reports on Timo Werner about Bayern Dortmund looking at him and stuff like that. So who knows, innit? But yeah, we'll probably discuss that on another video at another time. So yeah. But I'd still play Timo Werner, give him his chance tomorrow as a 10, not as just a up front in a 2. Give him in a 3 with Mason Mount in there and Lukaku up top, who needs to do more. You know, if he's getting frustrated tomorrow, I want him to drop deeper and just have a feel of the ball. Get involved, drop deep, get the ball, then pass it and lay off. Do 1-2, stuff like that. Don't just sit there and wait for the ball to come to you. Because I know you have a lot more in your game than just sitting there waiting for the ball to come to you. Hold it up and just lay it off. No, you have a lot more to your game, Lukaku, than that. And I hope he bags tomorrow. I do expect him to bag tomorrow. So yeah. That is my lineup, people. Put yours in the comments down below. And last but not least, quickly, I'll do a score prediction. I think we will win 2-0 tomorrow. Lukaku will score and Mason Mount will score as well. I don't think he scored a goal yet this season, so he needs to get one. So I hope he will tomorrow. I think tactically, look, I think, like I said, Southampton will press us, not as intensely as Man City did, but I also think they will try and nullify the wing backs tomorrow. And I feel like tomorrow with our 10s, I feel like Mason Mount and Timo will perform a lot better than Ziyech and Havertz did to drop in those pockets or make runs in behind, you know, and carry the ball forward and create for Lukaku and give the ball straight to his feet and, you know, nothing else. And those two can try link up and stuff like that. So I'm hoping tomorrow that can help, because I feel like maybe out wide we could get nullified if Hudson-Odoi and Chilwell does struggle. But I feel like those are the two for me that I would trust probably the most in terms of who's currently fit to go at the fullbacks and, you know, create something out of nothing to try and get the cross into the box. Or, you know, if there's two on them, I'd expect them to maybe, I don't know, link up and do a 1-2 and then get a cross in and stuff like that. And yeah, I just expect a lot more activity from those two as our wing backs tomorrow. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow when I do my play ratings video and my match review. So yeah, I'll see you lot then. Peace.